everybody, it's Bobby Gaines again, as always live and unscripted. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this bullying issue, and I don't know how long I'm going to talk about it. So again, that's why it's live and unscripted. I don't even know what I'm going to say. But this whole thing came up again, obviously, because of the incident with the Miami Dolphins and news of Richie Incognito essentially bullying and tormenting Jonathan Martin. Now, the story has changed a few times since it broke. In fact, by the time I finish this video, it might have changed again. So, depending on who you ask, they were just friends, they were just cool, fooling around, whatever, they got out of hand. Incognito left a really threatening voicemail. I'm not going to go through the details of hashing it out again or bleeping out parts of it, but really, to me, it just got me thinking about bullying altogether. Not, that is an important issue too, what's going on in the NFL, but just in general, bullying goes on all the time, and this is just the latest example of it. It's something that it just seems so obvious to speak about, and that's almost why I don't, but maybe I should. Because I just figure, if I speak about bullying, of course, everyone's going to say, bullying's bad, don't do it. But what's really going to change? If I do it, or if other YouTubers, if other people in real life or on YouTube or on Facebook say, stamp out bullying, stop bullying, if celebrities get behind it and say, stop bullying, that's great, but is bullying really stopping? Is it stopping any more than cigarette smoking is stopping because we say it's bad for people? Is it stopping like anything else is stopping? That doesn't mean you don't try to fight it, but it's just sad to me that, bullying has, I guess, maybe, I don't know the numbers, it has gone down a bit, but now it's more extreme. Like, instead of having, say a handful of just classroom bullies who might, punch you in the arm or might, make fun of your mom or something, now you've got people that are saying things that are so hurtful that people are committing suicide. That's serious, obviously. But, and again, I'm not saying that never happened before recent times, but now with Facebook and Twitter, you can really embarrass somebody and do some significant damage. And, let's, wake up here. These people are doing it on purpose. They're not, even if you want to believe the one or two cases where the person is innocent, and they go, I didn't mean to, it was over the line. Okay, that's dumb enough. But then there are some people who really did mean it, and they meant for it to be over the line, and they meant to call somebody a skank or a whore, or just do terrible things to them through the internet, which is just ridiculous. And it's just all, like anything, there's all different levels of bullying. Whether the intention is specifically against that person, or if it's some insecurity, I've heard that too, that they're not, necessarily hating the person they bully, but they just, there's just something there, like they're jealous of them, or they're mad at themselves, so they're taking it out on this other person. Like, that's not right either. But to me, I don't know, and I'm going to talk about Facebook later too, because that's something that really bothers me as well. Facebook, well, I'll save that for the other rant. Bullying. It's sad that I can't talk about bullying without mentioning Facebook, though. And, you can't talk about bullying without mentioning a lot of things. Text messages, Facebook, interactions, one-on-one, even in the workplace, at school, in pro sports now. Not that it, again, I knew that was happening. Like, where isn't it happening? And if there are bullies who truly have no intention to change, why? Like, what proof do you need that this is hurting people? Maybe you just want to hurt people. That's why I'm not making this video for bullies. I realize that, that would be stupid. Like all the anti-bullying things. A lot of the people who are in the anti-bullying programs were probably formerly bullied, or maybe not. Maybe they're just, good people, advocates for it. How many of them are actually bullies, though? I'm serious. They're like, some bullies reform, I realize that. But, out of all those people, like, how many bullies watch those ads about not bullying? Or how many people take the words to heart? When you give speeches, even to college kids or to whatever, and you're saying, stamp out bullying. And people are nodding their heads, and they're going, yeah. And how many of those people nodding their heads are looking at their smartphones while they're doing it, typing, yeah, so-and-so is a skank? You know what? That's bullying. Again, it's a fine line. There's a fine line between gossip and bullying and hazing and joking and this and that. And that's where things get kind of complicated. That's kind of why, I don't know about you guys, but I know I have a couple. I'm not going to name any names or say anything, but I think we all have a couple of what I like to call pseudo bullies. Like, they're not bullies. They're not, like, mean necessarily, but they do things. Again, I'm not trying to sound like some paranoid old man, but you might have that friend, even if they're not doing it to you. Just that there's somebody, like on Facebook, they're going to say, I'm going to make so-and-so jealous by posting something, or I'm going to do this. Like, just trying to get a negative reaction out of somebody else, to me, that's just, I don't want to say bullying because it's too often used, but what is the, why else do it, is my point. You know, if something good happens to you, and it really does happen to you, and you want to post about it on Facebook, that's one thing. But if something good doesn't actually happen to you, but you just want to say it did to make, like, your enemy mad, like, why are you doing it? To make yourself feel better, or to make someone else feel worse? Because you feel like that's what you need to do. Like, again, that's another topic. I don't know if you call that bullying. Also, I do have some other things, you know, like in the pseudo bully category. People who say things and they kind of say it in a weird way, like they go, no offense, but, you know, you should probably do this. People who try so hard to be not hurtful that they actually end up being hurtful. Again, not bullying, but just kind of a fine line. So, I can't think of a better word for bullying. Otherwise, I would stop using it. Because I know to call people who are a little bit, you know, spacey, to call them all bullies is kind of not right. They're not bullies. You know, bullying has more of an intent behind it. But still, we should all, myself included, we should look at the things we say, the way we say them, who we say them to, what we say them about. And everybody's different. Some people, you know, I've kind of gone back and forth on this. You know, people like to joke about me, some of the dumb things I've done in the past. And some of that I can handle, because some of them were just dumb things that had no effect on me. But other people, and myself, make dumb mistakes that really hurt them, and they don't want to be reminded of them. So it's kind of a fine line. If you're a goofy person like myself, you might not mind if someone goes, hey, remember that time you did this? It's like, yeah, that was funny. But if they keep doing it, and they keep going, hey, remember this? Oh, that was funny. Oh, remember this? Oh, yeah, remember when you blew all your money on whatever, and that was funny. And sometimes it gets a little much. So I'm just saying, if you have anyone in your life like that, that doesn't necessarily bully you, but just kind of irks you a little bit, it doesn't hurt to let them know, I would say. Anyway, like I said, this isn't a rant to be really productive, but just some food for thought, I guess. Mine needs some food. So, you know, if you know any bullies, tell them to shut the fuck up. I was going to say STFU, but I just thought of it right now. If you yourself are kind of being unfair to somebody and you know it, sometimes you don't know it, but sometimes you could be hurting someone right now and not know it. You know, maybe examine that. Again, I'm not a saint at this, so by no means am I, you know, saying my closet is without skeletons. So yeah, I just made a mistake there. You'll notice my closet's not even on camera, so I don't know what's in there. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bobby Gaines. Let's stamp out bullying yet again.